is this aggression? What is this aggression against your mama? Hello everybody and welcome back to Vlogmas. I'm gonna be super real with you. A minute ago, the table behind me was absolutely covered in stuff, and if you really squint, you can tell that it's still covered in stuff. This is my reality, guys. You wanna see the for reals life? That's what vlogging's all about, right? You wanna see the for reals life? This table is always covered in something. Also, I didn't make a video yesterday, which is fine, because I said I wasn't gonna make one every day. But I do feel terrible because yesterday was my sister's birthday. I know, my dad's birthday's on the 1st, my sister's birthday's on the 3rd. They're very close together. But that means we have to do a belated happy birthday to my sweet sissy. Sissy, I love you. You're the best big sissy that anybody could ask for. And I'm sending you a virtual snuggle. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Oh, good. I just realized I have unwrapped. I have some of my gifts for family members underneath this tree, and I was like, oh my god, can you see them? The camera, but you can't, so we're good. There are two things that immediately come to mind that Sam has gotten me super into that I did not care about at all for a long time. One of them is taking baths. I never really took baths ever, except when I was a little kid. We were a shower family, right? We didn't take baths as adults. But Sam's whole family is super into taking baths, and they've got this huge clawfoot tub because, you know, everybody in that family is a tall Adonis. So they've got like this huge tub, and they take these luxurious baths, all of them. And I never really did that until I got together with Sam, and he would suggest baths all the time and be like, why don't you just take a bath, right? I'd be like, man, my shoulders are really killing me. You should take a bath. Man, I've been like kind of stressing about this thing. You should take a bath, right? Like he would always suggest it, and I'd be like, no, that's a lot of work. But the longer that I've been with him, the more I find myself going, yeah, you know what, I could really go for a bath. Not a bath in the Thorne house, though. If any of my lovely Thorne family members are watching right now, it's not that I dislike that tub. It's that that tub is so big, I feel like if I even stop concentrating for a split second, I'm gonna slip in it and drown. It's just too big for hobbits, is all. I don't know how we're gonna come to an agreement, Sam and I, one day when we're buying our forever home, and he's like, finally, the tub of my dreams, and I'm like, I'll die in that, but okay. Anyways, so there's baths, number one. Number two, hot chocolate. Hot chocolate is a thing I did not ever care about, except when I was a kid, once again. And every time I go and visit Sam's family, they all love hot chocolate. So I started having hot chocolate. And any of you who've been watching me for a while are like, but Dodger, I thought that you didn't like chocolate. And I generally don't. It's growing on me. I've always liked bitter chocolate, like dark chocolate, which Sam is not a fan of. Sam wants that milk chocolate, but I love like dark bitter chocolate. I love like the dark chocolate with chili in it. Oh, so good. But I've always been more of a savory taste person, right? I don't generally like a lot of sweetness. So like even when I make my hot chocolate, I just put water in there. Like a lot of people that I know either put milk or sugar or both into their hot chocolate, and I'm just water. Just hot water and the chocolate mix, and that's really all that I need. It could be less sweet than it is even without any of that stuff in, and I would still like it. But yeah, he's broadened my horizons when it comes to hot liquids. I can't tell if I'm keeping her awake, like if she's hearing me and it's causing her to rustle around, or if she's just not sleeping very well tonight. So like all day, no, back up. Yesterday, I recorded with Jesse in the evening, so I wasn't here for like bedtime. This is gonna wind up being like a really roundabout way to get to what I was going to say, but I don't care. So we went yesterday and got new phones. We got the new Pixels, but we had to back order them. So we had like waited around, and they called us yesterday and were like, "Hey, your phones are here." And we were like, "Oh, dang, we should just go get those." So we went and got them, and it took a lot longer than we thought it was going to. So basically, I just dropped Sam and Clarke off at the house and was like, "Bye, I love you," right? And all day today was a daddy day, because pretty much every Tuesday is, because I've got co-optional podcast and I've got super cousin time, and then after she's gone to bed is manga pod, right? So Sam and I are with her together in the morning, and then I go off and like do my thing all day, and Sam watches her. So I was having this weird feeling, because typically I'm there for like every bedtime. So it was really odd to not be there for bedtime last night. It's not the first time that I haven't been there for bedtime, but like it's a rare thing, right? So Sam had put her to bed last night, and all day today he was like, "She has been in such a good mood. Like, she's been so sweet. It's just been great. What a great day." And I was like, "Oh, warms my heart," right? And I was so excited. This is probably going to sound dumb, but I was so excited to do bedtime tonight, because I didn't get to do it yesterday. And it just like, it's like, I know that it's nice for her because it's like a weird Pavlovian baby thing, right? Like everything that you read about sleep training is like, establish a routine and it'll help them like think, it's bedtime, and start to like mentally power down, right? So you establish things that you do nearly every night that are like triggers for them for, I'm supposed to go to sleep. But it's wound up being like a really nice thing for me too. Like we just go upstairs, we have some chill playtime, and then we read books and we sing songs, and she takes a bath, and she loves baths, and it's just nice, right? So, yeah, so tonight I was like, I'm actually like really excited to put her to bed, because like I'll just get to have this like nice chill time with her, because I haven't really spent any quality time with her in the last day and a half or so. And Sam went to work, and I took her upstairs after dinner. We had dinner. I took her upstairs, and she was immediately like yawning and falling asleep. I was like, what? Normally, we can take our bath and get her into her outfit and read like 2 or 3 books, and she's like super into them. And then we sing a song, and like around the song singing time is when she's starting to, right? This time it was, took a bath, got her into her outfit, and she was already rubbing her eyes and yawning. And I was like, wow, okay. I mean, that's good. Like, I know she's gonna go to sleep, so that's good. I just wanted to read some books and stuff with my baby girl. So we sat down, and I was like, you want to read a book? And I was like showing her books, and she was like, like not really into it, and like, right? So I said, okay. I read her a book anyway, but she was kind of like not really into it. And then we sang a song as I was taking her to bed, and then I put her to bed. And even though she seemed exhausted, ever since then, she's been rustling around, standing up in bed. She like threw her binky out of the crib, like all kinds of stuff. And I'm like, you were so tired. Where was this energy when I wanted some quality babu time? But it did inspire me, because I've gotten so many books for her, right? And she's still in the stage where she can't really read the books that aren't primers. Primers are like books with the really thick, like cardboard pages. She'll rip the pages or like get paper cuts on the other types of books. So if I read those to her, I have to like keep it really far away, and she wants to touch them, and she wants to turn the pages. She's figuring out how to turn pages now. She wants to turn the pages, and she wants to touch it. She's going to ruin any of these books with like just normal ass paper pages, right? So we stick to primers for the most part, but I wanted to show you guys the ones that she loves the most because we have so many of them, and she's really into them. And you might be like, well, how can you even tell if a baby is into a book, right? But as they get older, you really do start to realize what sorts of things they enjoy and what they do when they're enjoying something, right? Like say tonight, we sat down to read a book and she was completely disengaged. You know, she was just like, I don't want to do this right now. You know, she didn't want to look at the pages. She didn't want to turn the pages. She didn't want to like touch it really. She was just kind of like, whatever. And they're so sensory at this age, you know. If they're into something, they want to see it and they want to touch it and they want to put their mouth on it probably. But so these are books that pretty much anytime I give her a choice, I also do that a lot. I don't know whether or not it does anything, but she'll sit in my lap and I'll put 2 books in front of her and she'll like she'll visibly like go between them and eventually reach for one, and that's the one that we wind up reading. So these are books that she always reaches for. They're books that she is really engaged with pretty much every time. She absolutely loves them. She just generally seems to really love these books. So I figured I would show you guys what they are. Okay, so first off, Baby Loves Aerospace Engineering. I got this book from Jessie Cox and Felicia Day. I think that Felicia recommended it to Jessie as a gift. And when I first saw this book, I was like, really? But it is so cute. It's like all about a bird and how a bird flies and then it moves on to planes and then like the bird wants to go to space and how can a bird go to space, right? Like it's so cute and she loves it, like kicks her little feet and touches the pages and like loves this book. It's just like really, really nice. The art is so cute. And yeah, it's just like a really simplistic, like, this is how birds fly, and this is how a plane flies, and this is how a rocket flies, right? And it's just like very colorful, and she loves this one. This was like the first book that she really responded to. So we've been trying to read this to her for a long time, and she always gets so excited when we pull it out. So I kind of like, I try not to pull this one out too often because I don't want the magic to be ruined, but she gets really excited when we do read it. This one I actually got from an old high school friend. I went to visit her and she gave me 3 books. And it was super, super cute. One of them was a Midsummer Night's Dream primer. So it was like a baby version of Midsummer Night's Dream that has like really cute pictures of all of the fairies and things in it. One of them was a primer about the Pacific Northwest. So it was like different areas in Washington and Oregon, and that was super cute. And then this one is called This Little Trailblazer, a girl power primer. And it's all about like women who have done super cool things. She tries to make out with Malala pretty much every time. So this is like the page from Malala. It's super cute. This little trailblazer helps girls everywhere be treated in ways that are kind and fair. It's just adorable. And if you like really zoomed in on this, you'd be like, is that a lot of baby spittle from the past? It sure is. But yeah, it's another one that's like really colorful, really cute. It's got rhymes in it, which I'm always a fan of. You know, it's like a little history book, kinda. This is adorable. Yeah, she loves this one. And I don't know if it's because the cover is like so bright, but she's like, this is another one where every page she's like, oh my god. And then the last one that I wanted to show you, just in general, she tends to like books. But these ones are the ones where she's always really excited about them. Monster ABC. She loves this book. Like, sometimes when we put it down, she crawls off of us and like just wants to be engaged with it again. And sometimes we go through it all over again and she's just like, yes, like super into it. But it's literally an ABC book that's different monsters. A is for alien from way out of town. B is for banshee who won't quiet down, right? Like, it's so cute. Super colorful. Again, that's the key, man. If ever you're gonna make a kid's book, make it real colorful. We've got a couple that are really sweet books, like really cute little primers, but the pages are very muted, and she's like in and out with them. Like, if the pages are really like pop of color and really interesting looking, she's in. But yeah, these 3 books are amazing. Oh, and also I got this one from Danny Oriozima, our artist, and this is, he got it signed and it says C is for Clarke. But yeah, aside from those, Little Owl Says Goodnight, she liked for a really long time. She's been a little iffy on it lately. She used to really love Corduroy as well, but now she like does not pay any attention when we read Corduroy. Yeah, we read all kinds of books. Our whole side table is just, it started off just with The Lamp and like a couple other things, and now it's The Lamp and just books. Just like all the books. Oh, The Foot Book and Fox and Socks. She actually really likes both of those Dr. Seuss books. Yeah, just in general, like, she is a fan. And it's so fun because it wasn't until we started reading this book that she started to get down the, like, so when I read it to her, I try to keep the pages kind of like this, and she'll do this to like turn the page, and you hear her like she's so excited that she's doing it. It's really fun. So for any of you who have been like, oh man, I'm about to have a baby, I wonder what books I should get, or oh man, so-and-so is gonna have a baby, or so-and-so just had a baby, or maybe I could get her a book, but I don't know like what they would like. Those books are real good. Yeah, and just generally try to get primers if it's a new baby. We've got a bunch of books that you guys have sent that are normal pages, and we've still read those, but again, we have to like keep them far away from her so that she doesn't just crumple up the pages or rip them or anything else, or get a paper cut or hurt herself, you know. So we've avoided those books for the most part and just stuck to primers. And I think, yeah, if you wanted to get somebody a book that they could use right away with a baby, with an infant, go with primers for sure. Now, in closing today, I am going to pick at random a story from The Trolls in the Knolls, 35 Icelandic Folk and Fairy Tales. Now, Sam and I have read about 3 stories from this, and we can't for the life of us ever figure out what the moral is supposed to be. Like, is there even a moral? I can't tell. Most of the time I'm sitting there going, what was that story about? All right, random. Ready? The Bear and the Man from Grimsey.
Once upon a time, the fire went out on the northerly island of Grimsey and couldn't be rekindled on any farm. It was a still and frigid time of year, and the Grimsey Sound was frozen solid. It was impossible to sail across, but people believed that it might be possible to cross the ice on foot. The denizens of Grimsey decided to send men to the mainland to fetch fire and selected the 3 strongest men on the island for the task. The triumvirate set out early one morning in clear weather and were accompanied into the ice by many islanders. They wished the travelers good luck and a swift return. The emissaries' journey was uneventful until they had made it halfway across the Sound. There they reached a gap in the ice. It was so long they couldn't see where it ended, and so broad that 2 of the men were barely able to jump across it. The third didn't dare make the jump. His companions advised him to return to the island. They continued their journey as he stood on the chasm's edge and looked on. He was reluctant to return home and decided to walk along the gap, hoping to find a narrower section where he might jump across. As the day went by, the sky grew black with clouds, and a storm broke out, with southerly winds and rain. The ice began to melt, and the man found himself stranded on an iceberg as it was carried swiftly out to sea. Come evening, the iceberg collided with a large ice sheet, and the man walked out onto it. He observed a polar bear nearby, lying with her cubs. He was cold and hungry, and now he grew fearful for his life. When the bear saw the man, she looked at him for a while. Then she stood up, approached, and circled around him, and indicated he should lie down with her young. The man did so with trepidation, and the animal laid down next to him, enveloping him with her bulk, gave him teat, and had him nurse with her young. And thus the night passed. The following day the animal stood up, walked a short distance from the den, and gestured for the man to follow. How is this polar bear gesturing stuff? Is it like, like it's on all fours and it's like, come. Once he was out on the ice, the bear laid down at his feet and indicated that he should climb onto her back. Once he had climbed on, the bear stood up and shook herself until the man fell off. The animal didn't make any more attempts for the time being, and the man was very perplexed by the game. 3 days passed. The man spent nights in the bear's lair, drank milk from her teats, and every day she had him climb onto her back and shook herself until he couldn't hold on any longer. On the 4th day, the man was able to hang onto the bear's back no matter how she shook herself. She then swam off with the man on her back and brought him to Grimsey. On arrival, the man walked onto the island and motioned to the bear to follow him. He walked back to his house with her, had his best cow milked, and gave her as much fresh milk as she wanted. He then went to his sheepfold, had his 2 best sheep taken and slaughtered, tied them together by the horns, and laid them across her back. She then returned to the sea, and swam across to her young. At that very moment, great joy broke out in Grimsey, for while the islanders gazed in astonishment at the retreating figure of the bear, they saw a ship approaching fast from the island, and there were the other 2 emissaries bringing the fire. What?
It's so anticlimactic. He like goes with 2 other people to try and find the fire, quote end quote, which sounds like a cool adventure, and then the other 2 dudes like make a jump and he can't do it, so they're like go home, and then he like drinks milk off of a polar bear for 3 days. She takes him home, and then the other 2 people had their awesome adventure, found the fire, came back with the fire, and everybody's like, damn, those guys did it. But we followed the adventure of a dude who like couldn't go with them and hung out with a bear for 3 days. I don't get it. Anywho, I'm gonna go take a bath. I hope that you've had an amazing day, and maybe I'll see you tomorrow. Okay? Bye-bye.